2D shmup spaceship shooter action shines bright with Sol-Deace. Eight-bit joystick. Retrobit brought home Wolfteam's classic kickass horizontal spaceship shooter Sol-Deace to the Sega Genesis and Sega Mega Drive. Once again on brand new physical cartridge. I'm going to be opening it up and playing it for you. I first fell in love with this game when I got a Sega CD, and the Sega CD version was called Sol Fease and was one of the pack-in games. Originally a Japanese computer game for the Sharp X68000, it is a really well-made horizontal shooter where you could angle your guns in different directions, and they took advantage of having character sprites being rotated in software. It had a really good soundtrack, even on cartridge, and the CD version was amazing. It wasn't the most original game, but it was still well-made and a lot of fun. Don't forget to subscribe, because Retrobit's release of El Viento blows our way in our next video. Alright, unboxing Sol-Deace. So they have a cardboard slip cover. Ho-ho. I believe that is a lovely recreation of the Japanese design. Alright. I have 2936 of 3000, so I'm getting close to the end of my certificate of authenticity. First, the big thing, the Spaceship Black cartridge. It is black. It's slightly, no, it's not. A little transparent. You can sort of see the motherboard down there. Actual legit manual, and this poster. Yes, poster of the artwork. Aha! I just realized. It's reversible. Retrobit knows that if you're gonna buy a physical cartridge in 2024 or pre-ordered in 2023, you care about the packaging, and they went above and beyond. They got some gold leaf down here. That is a good looking cartridge. This is 8-bit joystick. I am playing Retrobit's release of Sol-Deace. This is my second attempt of recording this. My first one, I had my behind handed to me. And I am playing this on original Genesis hardware. This is my Genesis Mark II, which is going through a Hyperkin HDMI adapter. Ah, shoot. So, Sol-Deace, a release of a really great 2D shooter, very tough as nails, but has a lot of on-screen action, made by Wolfteam, originally for the Sharp 68000 home computer system. A lot of people don't know this, but Japan, MS-DOS and the Windows computers had their own, the Sharp 6800 probably had a DOS, an operating system, but it was not the IBM juggernaut that we had in the West. So it was ported to Sega CD cartridge, the Mega Drive, and an enhanced version, which really didn't enhance very much except having a really awesome CD audio soundtrack. for the Sega CD Mega CD, and actually was a pack-in for the Sega Genesis, or Sega CD. So I actually had a Sega CD as a teenager, and the hardware costs were very high. So to try and convince people that it was a good value, they included a bunch of software on disc, and one of them was this game, Sol Fease, then the cartridge version, Sol-Deace. So it makes sense that Retrobit would want to do a home version of it, or re-release. This did come out on cartridge, but sort of a cult hit. Shooter fans. I call them shooters. That's what we did back in the day, but now shooters are sort of known for first-person shooters, but these are spaceship shooters. Interesting thing that I tried, when I tried it earlier, there's these occasional little glitches at the bottom of the screen, which sometimes they're left over for some programming issues. I thought, when I originally tried to record on a Retron 3 clone system, and I thought I would check to see if it happened on authentic Sega hardware, and it indeed does. So I thought it was the Retron 3 glitching out, and it most definitely did not. So if the little programming glitches are reproducible, that's a good sign that it is quite accurate. So one of the cool things about this game is you have your lower gun, your center gun, and your top gun, and you can change the orientation of it by moving forward, they spread apart, moving back, they spread together, and you can lock it in place by pressing the button, the fire button. So there are 3 buttons on the Sega Genesis Mega Drive, and they all do the same thing in this game. You got fire, and that's it. So you just have to scan your eyes, identify the little red bullets coming for you, try and keep track of all the enemies. And I've said before, but one of the reasons why shooter fans like them so much is they require you to focus. This is not a game that you're going to play and check your phone. It requires your focus and attention. This is the one that I thought was a boss, but it indeed is not. It is a mini boss. So the Sega CD has additional processors in it. And so when I saw this game on Sega CD, I thought, oh, those rotation of sprites, that's definitely being done on the additional processors. And it's true that there are some games like, Batman Returns for Sega CD. Do use the scaling of sprites on the Sega CD. This one does not. Okay, 6 minutes into this recording, and we're into level 3. This is the farthest I got on my previous run through. So you can get different weapons for your front or top, medium, and lower gun. And of course, this is in the Gradius style shooters, in that as soon as you die, you lose all your power-ups. And then the multiple power-ups that you take that you need to get back to full strength are harder to get because you are less powered. Okay. I'll try another go at stage 3. Ooh, this is a video you can actually see my microphone. I sort of have mixed feelings about YouTubers that have their microphone in the shot, because it is not hard to compose a shot and have your microphone angled. Oh, I think I got the forward ones. And have it angled in a way that it doesn't always dominate the shot. What? So I don't think there's projectiles, you just die by getting into the sun. Which, honestly, makes sense, but there's also so many enemy projectiles on the screen at every time. And I said in my previous run, I blame Macross. I blame Macross for having this dance of missiles that entered it into the Japanese mindset. So, not quite as... a little bit. Bullet hell light, I would call it. Ugh. Okay, one more time. So, the angle that you hit the power-ups influences where on the ship that you get them. So if they come in contact, oh, shoot, to the bottom of your ship, they power up there. That's where they connect. Sorry, I'm not talking. I'm focusing on not dying. Okay, 3 lives and a pretty good... Don't want to jinx it. Okay, so I remember that looks like, oh, that's a traditional Gradius style boss. And then it gets killed by the real boss, which is this worm snake thing straight out of Dune. Of course, they're in the sand and not flying around, but, you know... Shai Halud. Yeah, shoot. Ooh, a little bit of slowdown. Okay, it's going back to his... Flying worm attacks. Take that, bullet sponge. Alright, made it out of stage 3. Warning, enemy cruise ship is approaching fast. I'll have to pop in my Mega CD to see how the soundtrack sounds for Sol. Okay. I will always go after missile launchers because I like to not die. Of course, the green ship that opens up really reminds me of the Zentradi cruisers. Another Macross reference, Super Dimensional Fortress Macross. I refuse to call it Robotech. Super Dimensional Fortress Macross. Shoot. Oh, great. Okay. I got caught in the Tholian web. Maybe try one more time. There's the core. Some dope music. I love early GameSack videos when he's like, this music's great, I record this and listen to it when I'm not playing the game. And he says that in most of his videos. Okay, took out one Tholian. By the way, one of my favorite episodes, I love Star Trek Enterprise, and boy, Season 4 is amazing. It's a real shame that we never got a 5th season of... And I started talking about Star Trek and then died at the video games. Alright, 16 minutes in. This is the Retrobit release of Sol-Deace. So, this is 8-Bit Joystick. Stay awesome, play retro.